Welcome to the Growth Lab podcast, where we talk about finding new clients, winning more contracts, and growing successful cleaning businesses. I'm your host, Matt Harris, and I run the Growth Lab. We partner with cleaning business owners to launch, accelerate, and scale the growth of their business with tried and tested systems and strategies that generate predictable revenue. If you're turning over at least 6 figures and you want to grow your cleaning business to 7 figures plus, click on the link in the description and schedule a call. Now let's dive in. What do you think is the one lesson that your experience has taught you up until now that other cleaning business owners would benefit from learning?
I think it's that. I think it's like if you can get clear on who you are and what you want. And again, it can be the total opposite from what I just said. And that's fine. There's not a right or wrong for this. But if you can get really clear on the kind of business that you want to build, the culture that you want to build, then you'll start seeing things differently. You're building that foundation of like, well, here's the house we're going to build. It's based off of these things. So I think the number one thing for me, maybe it's not the same for everybody else, but was when I got very clear on who we are, what we're about, where we're going, it changed. And Matt, the challenge I would say with that advice is I don't know if I really could have done that work before I was angry enough to do it. But if the earlier somebody can get to where they can get clear, and this is Think and Grow Rich, right? Like, hey, get clear on what you want, desire to achieve it. Like this is all stuff that we know. The faster they get clear on that, some of the other things they'll figure out. And the other thing, I think only other thing I would say to maybe less philosophical than that is to figure out hey, who's your ideal client and who's your ideal team member. If you can figure those two pieces out, because really what we're doing in the cleaning business is we're a glorified staffing agency. We're matchmaking. We're figuring out, I got to get a client, unless you're going to be the guy cleaning all the time. I'm going to get a client. I'm going to say, this is how we're going to serve you. And I'm going to find a person who's in line with serving people in that way. I'm just stacking those people, stacking those types of relationships. So we're relationship building from the standpoint of we're matchmakers between those two things. So get clear on who you are, what you're about, what you want your company to be about. Get clear on who you want to serve, and get clear on who is going to serve with you. And then then we're just stacking things up from that point on. So I think that's the secret to success in this industry from my perspective.
What advice would you give to a younger version of yourself just starting out with your cleaning business?
No, I'd say, hey, you just want the thing that helped me to eventually win in this was that when I was out cleaning, I was a hungry student of personal and professional development. Okay. I was always listening to a podcast just like yours, Matt. I was listening to people that had won in life, and there wasn't really a whole lot of offering for people who'd won in this industry for me to listen to when I got started. But now there is. And so I'm like, hey, you just want to program your mind to succeed. So when you're out there hustling and doing your thing, you just want to be listening to stuff and reading stuff that is empowering you to run after that vision. So again, thinking Grow Rich, listen to podcasts just like yours, Matt. I mean, you just want to be listening and reading and consuming information that will help you build your dream and get fired up and excited, because this crap gets hard, And so you really got to have a strong desire and a belief level that you can win eventually to get you through those hard times. So I would say it's absolutely number one most important thing to do is to consume positive media consistently over and over and over.
Learn and execute, right? Like you did. You didn't just take it in, you actually put it into practice. I know there was a tipping point that when anger got enough for you to go, all right, let me focus in on like applying everything that I learned. But I think that's often the other side, and I've been guilty of this. You listen to so much, you take it all in, you're like, yeah, this is the way forward. But actually, unless you start applying it, then you're really going to be stuck in the same place that you are right now. So quite often there's going to be a triggering event that is going to make you go, okay, this is what I know, like, let me actually put it into action. And then once you've seen the proof of that action working, then you're like, oh shit. So, all the other stuff that I've learned and I understand, why am I not just applying that? And eventually is going to lead to the success that I'm after, the success that I desire, right?
You raise your belief the most is when you act upon the information that you've gathered. Like that's when true belief, because you're starting to, mess up and learn all that stuff, right? Yeah. And it's funny because I think about things I do now that like I read in a book to do 15 years ago, but I couldn't, I didn't believe enough to do it. Now I'm like, why aren't y'all doing this? Well, you got to raise your belief. So yeah, you if you just listen to stuff and don't do anything, it don't work. It's like faith without works is dead. You got to listen and consume while you're doing and putting into action, and that's how you build some success.
Yeah, for sure. And the last quick fire question, Josh, is what 3 non-negotiable skills do you think are essential for growing your cleaning business?
3 non-negotiable skills. Well, you got to figure out a way to generate leads and win clients. So you got to learn how to sell. You eventually got to learn how to talk to people. So even, generating leads, all that stuff. Hey, that's all really good, man. Let me give you 100 leads. Well, if you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to close the lead, then you're screwed, right? So I'd say you need to learn how to communicate effectively to close a deal and to sell. Now, I'm speaking on this too, non-negotiable skill if you want to grow a successful cleaning company of size or scale. So that's number one. You got to learn how to sell. Number two, you have to learn how to build, like how to lead and build leaders. Because if you're going to, if you're the magic, you're the leader, you're managing everybody else. Well, if you want to grow beyond that, then you have to be able to attract a leader that's going to lead underneath you. So you got to develop your own leadership, but you have to be able to develop other leaders as well, or figure out a way to outsource it. But a good leader will not follow a leader that sucks. So you got to increase and improve your own leadership level. And then I think the third thing I'd say is like, you have to be comfortable enough in your humanity and who you are that you know what you're good at and what you're not good at. Because if you're trying to operate in things that you suck at, then your company's going to suck in that area. And you're also going to be taken away from areas where you could be applying your strength. You're not growing stronger in your strengths because you're trying to take care of something that's a weakness, because you're trying to be a well-rounded person. Just get comfortable in who you are. You're going to be really good at certain things. You're not going to be good at other things. I'm pretty good with dealing with people and talking to people. But if you want me to do the same thing every day, Matt, if you want me to do payroll, I can do it. Yeah. But I'm going to hate it. And you know what I'm saying? It's going to take away from where I'm good at. So get your non-negotiable skill. I say this is kind of weird. It's a skill. But you need to know who you are, know what you're good at, and also know what you're not good at, and be able to say like, I'm just not good at that. So I got to find a way to outsource that. Somebody else is good at that, and they hate what you're good at. They suck at it, and they're really good at what you're not good at. They're really good at what you're not good at. And it's a good partnership. So know who you are in regards to your strengths and weaknesses. If you don't know that, it's going to be hard for you to grow.
Yeah, for sure. What's the one lesson that your business has taught you that you think, other cleaning business owners should learn early on in their business journey?
Yeah, I know that answer instinctive, and everyone's guilty of this early on. Ability is a big thing, because, I'll give you a couple of examples. You meet someone and feel like you get on well. They're explaining a project or a one-off job, and you think, it just doesn't sound right. Your natural inclination is to say, yeah, okay, we'll do this, and then they don't pay. Job goes on, because everyone's perception of cleaning is very drastically different. I've had tens of thousands of pounds at play when I knew this customer was a pain in the backside, and I should have said no to the project. But sometimes when you see this project's worth that, or some want to be seen to clean, it can be hard. And I think having the ability to be comfortable, just say, no, look, it's not for me at the moment, one that I wish I'd learned. Something I'm better at now. As I say, we know what we want to do and where we want to be. If someone comes in that doesn't meet that criteria, I say, look, I'm really sorry, it's not for us. I wish you all the best with it. And that goes with staff as well. The early days, I asked them to come to me and go, oh, Chris, I'm a bit short this month. Can you lend me, X, Y, Z? And, times are hard. But, someone I've advanced on my wages this month, in early days I'd be like, oh, okay, because I don't want this guy to leave. Or saying yes can get you in all sorts of bother, especially if in your gut, really should be saying. So I've learned that and got more comfortable with that early on. Something that I'm better at now, but to say no when you know that you should be saying no will hold you in good stead and save you a few sleepless nights.
What was going to be the one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self? But it sounds like that would be saying no.
Yeah, most definitely. I said yes to that I'm uncomfortable doing it because, you didn't get the right vibe from site, and, I've got money doing it. You're looking at a project and it's pure chaos, and they go, oh no, we're going to be ready for your cleaning team next week. Look, thinking you're not. There's just no way in hell this is going to be ready. But you say yes anyway. You turn up on the day. It's like Piccadilly Circus. You're trying to clean, and the customer goes to you, well, you haven't completed the job. You've got to come back tomorrow. But, well, you gave me a fixed price. It's tough. It's not ready. You've got to come back. And before you know it, you've got to send the team back. Got there and say, no, this is not for us. Or you've got a customer that wants 1 hour in the arse end of nowhere. And they go, oh, well, I've only got this budget. And you go, oh, all right, I'll squeeze it in. And it's going to be a headache. If you just said you wouldn't have that headache, and you don't damage your reputation, you don't annoy the client, and you can sleep.
What are the 3 non-negotiable skills that you think are essential to growing your cleaning business?
People management and speaking with people. I have to deal with cleaning staff, technicians on a daily basis. I also am comfortable with sitting in a meeting with the CEO of a multi company. So having good people skills at all levels is a must. And the best people I've seen and learned from, they've all had, they're people. They can speak with people all levels. Hard work is one. Obviously, cleaning is done generally early morning or in the evening. So having that work ethic, it's quite easy especially when you get a little bigger and you've got staff that are out, doing bits and pieces for you, making sure they're supported. So you've got to have that work ethic, after a long day. Sometimes what you want to do is, see someone Joan on a contract down the road, but you've got to be able to do that and stay consistent. The last one is just determination. In such a saturated industry, you've got to have a lot of no's before you get your yes. So just having, that determination just to keep going and not tell is something that will hold most business owners in good stead.
What is your one golden rule for running a successful cleaning business?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for that.
Just thought I'd stump you with that. I know we've spoken about, staff and training. I know there's a financial aspect as well, but, with your experience and having worked with other cleaning businesses, I'm pretty sure that there's a recurring theme that you have found, which is a platform to build on.
I would say it has to be, this is a people business, and whether it's your customer relations or your employee relations, if you don't get that part right, nothing else matters. And to me, the employee is more important than the customer. Because without them and without the right attitude within the employee and within the organization, if you're not working together as a team, it doesn't matter if you know your numbers, and it doesn't matter if you have all the new business you can handle. If you don't have a team to accomplish that and work together in one direction, everybody's on the same page, and that's ideal. That's not always going to happen. So you have to be able to quickly weed out the ones that aren't. We always say hire slow and fire fast. Because they will bring you down, and there is no point at all in letting that one bad apple in the bushel ruin it for everyone. So they have to go. It's hard for owners to do that, but that's the reality.
What advice would you give a younger version of yourself just starting out with your IT cleaning business?
Lend your money to the company. Don't put your money in and spend it. Lend the money to the company as a director's loan, because then you can have it back any time. So that's one mistake.
And what's one golden rule from your perspective of running a successful cleaning business?
Be very, very honest and upfront with your customers. Tell them if something can't be done, it can't be done, and stick to your guns. Even if somebody else is saying it can be done, say, well, let them do it then, because it can't be done.
Okay.
People totally respect that.
What one piece of advice would you give a younger version of yourself before you started off on this manufacturing journey?
Good question. Keep motivated. Business success does come to those who stick it out, and keeping motivated, keeping yourself in the game can be very powerful.
How do you keep yourself motivated? What has been your anchor? Do you have like a routine, or do you have, a mantra or something, like a favorite song or something that just gets you back in the zone when you're feeling a little bit low?
Exercise generally. Mad cyclist and triathlete. So
cool.
Yeah. Get out there, smash some miles, and then everything will be good again.
What's one decision that you took in your business that had the biggest impact on your growth?
I'm not sure it's a good impact on our growth. So I've talked all the way through about having a very standardized product, very standardized. I will say that has restricted our growth quite a lot. So we always focused on having the very best quality. It meant we hadn't grown as much. But the plus side of that is in terms of prices, we can charge an absolute premium because we do provide a really good quality. Despite me saying our customer services aren't above and beyond, it is a really good quality for what we deliver. So I think a lot of people focus on growth, and they're not looking at the bottom line. So if your plan is to grow and become, 100 people strong and not make much off each people, then that's one business route to go down. But what a lot of people do is find that they can't manage more than 10 to 15 people, particularly in domestic. And they're going, well, I'm hardly making any money. And so my advice on growth is remember what you're growing, and just growing a team isn't really growth. The only thing that matters is the bottom line, and you can do that without having a massive team, would be my thoughts on growth.
What are the 3 non-negotiable skills that you think have been essential to growing your cleaning business?
It's got to be. So I think of business like a game. So it's just like a big game of Monopoly. It's kind of remembering that, let's be honest, right? Cleaning's not that important. It's not life or death, right? If you mess up, you mess up. So my number one skill is just remember that it's just cleaning, you know? Yeah. Let's not take ourselves too seriously. I do take it very seriously, but at the same time, when it comes down to it, it's just cleaning. And the other thing is you're totally replaceable, or you should be totally replaceable. So yeah, it's kind of an attitude of it's just a game, and play around with your business. So when there's different options, just play with different options. Try 1, 2, 3, swap it around, keep it exciting. So yeah, that's one. Okay, what's another skill? Resilience.
Go ahead, you can do 2 more.
Okay, so resilience. It's hard. If it's not hard, you're not really trying. You're not pushing yourself. It's hard. You might feel like you're failing. You're not doing well enough. You look at your friends and they're doing something different. What started off as a dream quickly becomes a nightmare. So resilience and sticking at it no matter what. And third skill, loving people and remembering it's fun, and even sales recruitment, enjoying it.
Yeah, I think I'd also add, as you've demonstrated quite well in this episode, is systemizing, right? Having processes and really focusing on that in terms of, providing a good foundation for your business, whether you're looking to grow it to 100 people plus, or, whether you're just looking to maintain it at whatever size it is now. I think having sort of standard processes where you don't even have to think, things just happen because you've already thought about them. You've put the right infrastructure in place for it to get executed. I think that in itself is massively valuable, and it's certainly something that I did not learn straight away. It took a while to kind of start implementing, and even then I don't feel that I did it massively well, but you learn from those experiences, right? And you kind of implement it going forward.
Yeah, you learn and you keep going, I can't keep doing the same mistake. There's got to be at some point, or there's a point where you're sending out the same email, and then you go, right, well, I'll template it. And then you go, it's really annoying that I'm sending out this template. What can I do to develop so I just press a button so it goes out? And then you start to automate, and this is where it gets really exciting with like Zapier, or if you're using Microsoft Power Automate. So I love it.
What's one lesson that your business has taught you that you think every other cleaning business owner should learn?
Never forget what job the people are doing. I still clean now and again. I think it's really important that you don't forget what starts it, what actually brings the money in. Because if you do, and I've seen this happen with bad hires I've made, and even good hires who've become too removed, is then they start overloading staff, and that makes staff unhappy. Yeah. You can't forget what job it is that they're doing. So it also keeps you appreciating your staff. And if you're in a good appreciating mood, everybody is. You can feel the vibe. And you've got to remember that nobody puts the effort in that you do.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be that committed.
What are the 3 non-negotiable skills that you feel are essential to you growing your cleaning business?
People skills, whether it's with your staff, your clients, suppliers, everybody you meet, you've got to hone your people skills. Understand your numbers. If you don't understand your numbers, you're in trouble straight away. And constantly improve. That would be my top 3.
And what's the one piece of advice you'd give to a younger version of yourself just starting out your cleaning business? Go for a commercial. No, I'm joking.
Okay, could be. It's a learning curve. Just do it now. Lack of confidence, don't let it stop you. Just do it now. You get perfect later.
What are the 3 non-negotiable skills that you believe have been essential to you and your team growing Housekeep?
I think I've only got 2. It's people business.
Okay.
This is people, both sides of your marketplace, working in your office. So empathy, understanding people and what they want is really critical. And second, it's a service business. So you've got to understand the details, how this thing works, nuts and bolts. Got to be a bit obsessive about cleaning. So you've got to be a detail-oriented person as well.
And what's the one piece of advice you'd give a younger version of yourself before you started Housekeep, before you knew everything that you know now?
I always respond to this with don't do it. Why on earth would anyone start any business let alone a business in the cleaning industry. It's really hard. Don't do it. Do something else. Don't put yourself through it. But if you're going to do it, if you're still going to do it, if you're still crazy enough to think that you're going to be the guy that's successful and blah blah blah, then at least enjoy it. I think as you get a little bit older, and I've got a few more grey hairs than I used to, enjoy the journey. And I think I've historically just wanted to get to the end as quickly as possible, whereas I'm almost learning to enjoy what I'm learning, the challenge, all the difficult things along the way. I'm sort of starting to hit them in my stride a bit more, rather than just think about where's the end, where's the goal. The goal actually is the journey itself. So my advice would be to enjoy the journey if you're going to do it.
What one lesson your fantastic journey has taught you that you think other cleaning business owners should learn?
It's not about cleaning, it's about your mindset, It's not about cleaning, it can be anything. Yeah. It's about mindset and nothing else. That's the one lesson I would like to say. It is your mindset that sets you up for what you're going to succeed. It's not whether it's cleaning, it can be handyman, it can be so forth. And don't be afraid of diversification, right? Of moving sideways instead of in one direction of it. If you've got good customers, keep them.
What one piece of advice would you give to a younger version of yourself before you started your fantastic
trust yourself more. Yeah, that's a quick one. Trust yourself more. Yeah.
And what do you think are the 3 sort of non-negotiable skills that are essential to not necessarily starting a business, but to growing a business successfully?
Oof, that's a tough one because I'm going through ups and downs on it as well. The 3.
So what's been consistent throughout your?
You said the word. It's consistency. I mean, sure. You just have to keep going. There's going to be tough times. Keep going. It's like when going through hell. I mean, through COVID, and when we didn't know whether we were going to be alive or not, or whether anything was going to open again, whether we were going to have clients, whether they were going to all cancel and so forth. I just keep going. It's like whatever. We just shut our eyes and said okay, what we're going to do and swift this stuff here. We talked to everybody. We listened a lot to our franchisees and said well, hold on, this is booking, this is not booking, and it's okay, well, can we reskill? Yes, bam, move. So consistency
and mindset. What do you think is your one golden rule for running a successful cleaning? I think I know where we're going with this because you've kind of just given me the answer.
Well, the one thing that I would say is when you're going out to price jobs or speak to clients, I think I touched on it earlier, don't over-promise something if you can't deliver it, because you're going to lose the contract and you're going to lose your reputation. If you get complaints, you need to deal with it. We've had complaints like anybody does, and that complaint's turned into a good review because of the way we dealt with it. So don't shy away from things. You will do things wrong, but you need to fix it. Don't promise something that you can't deliver either, because then we'll get the contract when you don't deliver it.
Yeah, we're changed around the corner. No, that's cool. And the last one from me is what do you think are 3 non-negotiable skills that are essential or have been essential to you growing your cleaning business?
Yeah, so marketing, you need to be good at marketing. Not you personally, get somebody that's good at marketing to run ads for you. Be good at sales. If you can have the best business out there, I believe, but if you're not good at selling it, then you'll not get anywhere. So you need to brush up your sales and be active in social media, network. If people don't know who you are, who your business is, you'll not get anywhere. You'll not get any sales. So get yourself out there. Let people know who you are and what you're doing.
Thanks to you guys for listening to the Growth Lab podcast. You can access the show notes and free resources via the link in the episode description. And if you got some value from this podcast, please pay it forward and share it with others across social media, or leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you listen to, as it would really mean the world to me. Hope you enjoy and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.